Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us this evening for what is truly one of the highlights of Virtual Reunion Weekend, the presentation of the 2021 St. Mary's University Alumni Awards. My name is Bob Fisher, and it is my privilege to serve as Director of Alumni Relations at St. Mary's. I'm also a proud undergraduate alum of 1997, and I also received my master's degree from St. Mary's in 2006. All of us would like to warmly welcome you virtually this evening. I hope you have been able to reconnect with your friends as well as with your alma mater this weekend, and we truly look forward to welcoming everyone back to our university in person soon. Tonight, we express our deepest gratitude to you for coming home and sharing this memorable time with us. The spirit of what makes this university so special is evident this weekend. Whether our alumni attend classes in Winona or Minneapolis, online or beyond, and whether our alumni graduated in 2021 or 1971, they tell us their St. Mary's experience is the same. While the core of what makes this university special has not changed since our founding, you've undoubtedly seen and heard about the many wonderful changes happening all around this university. This fall, we will dedicate our newly renovated Aducci Science Center's Hoffman and Brother Charles Halls, which will house all of the innovation occurring in our business department, as well as science and psychology. Our work is far from over. The future of St. Mary's University will be shaped by the courage and dedication with which we prepare for tomorrow's challenges and opportunities. We can't imagine having better partners on the journey than you, our alumni and friends. Our 14th president, Father James P. Burns, joined by our St. Mary's community, is working to create a strategic plan for our future. I'm hoping you've all heard about our new academic business certificates, our undergraduate nursing program opening this fall, and many other exciting partnerships and initiatives.
Hello, Alumni Weekend guests. This certainly wasn't the celebration any of us had anticipated, but please know it doesn't diminish our reason for this celebratory gathering, you. And what a joy to highlight 4 very deserving Alumni Award recipients. As Bob mentioned, we are excited at the potential to welcome everyone to campus this fall for the dedication of our latest building project, the renovation of the Aducci Science Center's Brother Charles and Hoffman Halls, which contain a new state-of-the-art business suite, psychology labs, our new BS in nursing program, and where we will innovatively blend science and business curriculums. Those of you who were able to attend my university update know there's much more happening here, from the expansion of our partnerships, to our business accelerator programs, to our online growth. Yet as we put our strategic plan into action, you should know we're just getting started. We're only able to accomplish great things because of the generosity and partnership of our talented alumni. A university, they say, is only as strong as those who carry her name forward proudly in their personal and professional lives. We're here tonight to talk about 4 such talented individuals who have lived our Lasallian Catholic mission of service and leadership. They've set a standard of excellence, and their lives exemplify character, virtue, and give our students something to progress toward. Mr. Michael Cannon, Dr. Susan Paul Caufield, Miss Jennifer Nelson, and Dr. Thomas Claussen, your biographies are impressive. Equally impressive are the number of lives you have touched and inspired on your journeys. It's a ripple effect. Your interactions are quite literally changing the world, whether it's at Maple Grove Hospital, or Hillmurray High School, or St. Mary's University, or with the World Health Organization. Thank you for all that you do for St. Mary's, your communities, and far beyond. We're blessed and proud to call you alumni. We congratulate you with these distinguished alumni honors and ask that God bless you and your families.
Thank you, Father, for updating us on important advancements going on all around us. We're here tonight to recognize a special group of individuals. The 4 alumni we recognize this evening are remarkable examples of the best of St. Mary's. They are people whose contributions have significantly impacted the lives of others. We begin the recognition portion of our evening with a presentation of the Alumni Appreciation Award. To introduce the award, please welcome our president of the Alumni Association, Mr. Ryan Pajak, from the undergraduate class of 2004 and the graduate class of 2010.
Thank you, Bob. And as the voice of alumni for the university, I have an important responsibility. It is one of our goals to provide our alumni with outstanding opportunities to connect with each other and with the institution. We especially appreciate alumni who are willing to come back to speak, to serve, to promote, and to help us further our mission. The Alumni Appreciation Award honors alumni who have, through consistent and continuous volunteer efforts, given personal time and energies to further the goals and objectives of St. Mary's University. And now I invite you to learn a little more about this year's most deserving recipient, Michael Cannon, from the class of 1973.
Mike Cannon seems to have never left St. Mary's. Since he graduated in 1973, Mike has become a very active alumnus, attending more than 20 reunions. He has attended and planned numerous St. Mary's golf tournaments. He has served on the First Generation Initiatives Board and was on the planning committee for 2 Celebration of Excellence events. His steadfast enthusiasm for the school has drawn many fellow alums back to St. Mary's.
Well, first of all, he's a very, very friendly person. I cannot imagine someone meeting Mike and not becoming friends with him instantly. To think that he has enemies is preposterous. There are just people who are friends that he has not met yet. That's the kind of person he is.
He's just a very giving, pleasant man. What you see is what you get. Mike has no, he's not pretentious or, if Mike's in, he's all in. He doesn't equivocate. So that's what I like about him.
Mike was always committed to St. Mary's for sure, and committed to our fraternity, Alpha Delta Gamma, but just committed to everybody. He was, I don't know if anyone knows, but his nickname was Mama. And we called him Mama, so I don't even know who named him that, but it was not in a derogatory sense. It was truly because he cared about everybody so much. He was like our own mother on campus.
Well, he's a kind of person that gets things done. And that's probably why he was elected president of our fraternity, because he has those innate leadership qualities that you just gravitate toward.
So Mike has been involved in many, many activities with the school. One in particular that's near and dear to my heart is the Chicago Alumni Golf Outing that we've probably had for 30 years now, on and off. Mike came up with a great idea to try to incent more people to attend, and he got together with some of the other committee members, and they came up with the idea of still having the golf outing, but then at 5 or 6 o'clock when the golf part of it was over with, invite alumni just to come for drinks and hors d'oeuvres and entertainment.
Well, yeah, he threw a great party. He could get people together in a closet and you'd have fun.
I just think that he enjoyed the experience there like most of us. The 4-year experience, we were from Chicago, you're up in Minnesota and beautiful Mississippi Bluff territory. I just think the experience for all of us was fantastic during that time, and so give back. The school provided me a great experience. I want to give back.
Yeah, Mike, I can't think of anybody more deserving. You epitomize what St. Mary's is all about: a sense of community, a sense of desire to be better. St. Mary's is kind of like the small school with big ideas, and they emphasize they want you to grow, not only as a person, but also in your professional life. And I think you've achieved all of those things.
You have done so many great things for St. Mary's over the years. And I'm so glad that the school is honoring the contributions that you've made.
You know, somebody once said that if you go through life and you have 5 friends, you're very fortunate. I know, going through life, I've had at least one extremely close and good friend that I can rely on. And Mike, I hope you cherish our friendship as much as I do, because you're a good guy. I wish I knew more people like you.
Please join me in congratulating our 2021 Alumni Appreciation Award recipient, Michael Cannon.
Good afternoon. I'd like to begin by congratulating my fellow award winners, Dr. Caufield, Dr. Clausen, and Jennifer Nelson. I really feel like I'm in an extraordinary company. Actually, I'm not sure why I deserve to be here. Certainly not on the same page with all those folks. I really feel humbled and honored to receive this award, so thank you very much for the St. Mary's community. I wonder why I feel like I deserve this award. Well, probably a couple different reasons why. First of all, it's the people. The people at St. Mary's have always made me comfortable, even from the first day on campus. All the people, whether they were in the leadership, the teachers, my classmates, dorm mates, even the people that worked with the school, all were so giving and what made me feel warm and comfortable. Did I mention how much fun we always had around there? Well, that's because it was easy to feel part of a community at St. Mary's. We always felt like we were having fun, whether it was school or sports or whatever. Again, it's the people at St. Mary's that are the most important thing. So anytime I have an opportunity to get together with St. Mary's people over the last 50 years, I've always been all over it. Even if it means giving a little bit of time considered to be called work. The second reason I'm happy to spend my time and energy with St. Mary's is our mission and commitment. You can read the words on the website, but it's the actions that really define the mission. Actions are always louder, and the actions of St. Mary's indicated the prime mission is to help students to learn and to grow personally, socially, and ethically. St. Mary's works hard to prepare its students for the future, whether it's investing in a new science building, the new physician's assistant program, the nurses program, or our first generation program. St. Mary's shows that we are committed to the growth of our students and our community. Finally, did I mention fun? Most of my friends that I've had over the last 50 years all came from St. Mary's. And the most important one is I met my wife there, and we have developed a nice family of 3 kids, and she's been a backbone of all of it. And then the real reason for staying engaged is to answer one question. Whenever you've been around St. Mary's people, whether it's in Winona or in Chicago or anywhere in between, we always have great friendships, both old and new. And it's always a great time being around St. Mary's people. I would like to also thank staff people that I've known over the years that have helped me do a little bit of the work that I do, starting with Brother Ed Sidowich, Joe Sweeney, Bob Fisher, Adam Stasica, Lori Quinn, just to name a few. There was other people also helped around. So again, thank you for the award, and I look forward to a lot more fun with St. Mary's in the future. Also, in the fall of this year, anybody in the Chicago area, if they want to play golf with a small group of St. Mary's people, we'll be having a small event in Oak Brook again. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brother Robert Smith, and I serve as Senior Vice President here at St. Mary's University of Minnesota, and I'm also a member of the class of 1976. St. Mary's proudly recognizes those alumni who best personify the values that represent this university's Lasallian Catholic heritage. The Lasallian Service Award honors alumni who have made outstanding contributions to the Lasallian spirit of faith and zeal. It is presented to someone who exemplifies the highest of our shared Lasallian values. This year's 2 recipients have dedicated their lives as well as their careers to helping others. Let's learn more about our first recipient this evening, Dr. Susan Arlowski, Paul Caufield, from the class of 1980.
Susan Orlowski Paul Caufield graduated from St. Mary's prepared to teach religion at a Catholic high school, and she did just that for 11 years. During this time, she also earned a master's and a doctorate in education leadership and began to build a new career as an administrator. She served as principal and later president of the Hill Murray High School just outside of St. Paul, Minnesota. Among her many accomplishments, she converted an old gym into a student resource center open to all students, as a very visible testament to her Lasallian roots. Through Dr. Caufield's long career in education, she has inspired generations of students and colleagues.
So I first met Sue when she was my teacher in high school at Totino Grace High School. I was a freshman and I had her for freshman religion. And I wrote a paper that I actually still have today, and just her comments on the paper, and we connected after class, and she became a great friend when I was 14, 15 years old, and still great friends these days.
Sue's a great listener. She's kind, she's loving, she's others focused, she's a hard worker, she's very inclusive. Sue has the ability to see her own strengths and then also see the strengths of those around her.
She is quiet and would sit back, but she's so loving and caring and genuine that people just want to be associated with her.
And Sue would never tell you what to do, but she would ask the questions. She would ask the tough questions, she'd ask the right questions, and it's through that conversation you'd come to realize, oh, this is how this should go. Oh, this is what I should do. Oh, this is why I'm going down the wrong path. And it was just masterful how she did that. Focused on relationships, asking the right questions, never judging, always supportive, and modeling excellence. I mean, if I had to sum it up, there it is.
When Susan started here as principal, she embraced our Hill Murray community wholeheartedly. I believe she showed exceptional professionalism in her educational career path when she transitioned from being principal to president of Hill Murray. As president, Dr. Caufield oversaw the planning, building, and opening of the Nicholas Center.
And the Nicholas Center is a place that welcomes all types of learners, even those students who have traditionally been excluded. And having that place at Hill Murray makes Hill Murray special.
All of us embraced Susan's confidence and optimism that all students could raise up and ultimately become what is now a defining piece of Hill Murray culture and a legacy to Dr. Caufield, and that is that all students are known, loved, and respected.
She really believes in this membership in a community and convinces you that when you're a part of the community, you are ready, you are able, you're resilient, you can do anything.
When you think about Lasallians, you think about touching hearts and minds. You think about meeting students where they're at and walking with students, accompanying students, and that's what she did. And she did that for us. She did that for her teachers, for her coworkers.
Sue, we are all so proud of you. Congratulations on this huge award and honor. You deserve it.
And Susan, I am so proud of you. You have made such a positive difference in our community. Your award is well deserved. You have been a rock of support for students, for colleagues, for our community, and for your families. I'd like to end with your legacy line, but change the order for me. You are respected, known, and loved. Congratulations.
Please join me in congratulating Lasallian Service Award recipient, Dr. Susan Orlowski Paul Caufield. Congratulations, Susan.
I'm grateful and honored to be recognized with the Lasallian Service Award, and I especially want to thank my classmate Beth Ann Kemling and the St. Mary's Alumni Board for nominating me for this recognition. I never thought I'd become a teacher. I came to St. Mary's thinking I wanted to be a marine biologist. I ended up majoring in religious studies, but wasn't sure what I wanted to do with that. After my sophomore year, I needed to figure that out. The Off-Campus Learning Center helped me find a year-long volunteer program that placed me in a little outstate Catholic school of all places. And it took me about a week to fall in love with the kids and with helping them learn. While away from campus, I took correspondence courses and did my student teaching, and came back to St. Mary's for my senior year, adding education as a second major. I was on my way. I loved teaching religion, and initially felt guilty getting paid for having so much fun. I was fortunate to be part of 2 Catholic schools with strong Lasallian roots. And like St. Mary's, each school enjoyed a strong sense of community, and I was so intrigued with the impact, I wrote my dissertation on the topic. Strong communities don't happen by accident. They're intentional, and that intentionality became a sort of compass for my work as a school principal. Relationships matter. Little things matter. And celebrating what you value matters. I was fortunate to have many great friends, mentors, and teachers at St. Mary's who helped shape my thinking and my beliefs. And at this special virtual homecoming celebration, I'm grateful to be part of St. Mary's alums across the country gathering to celebrate their membership in this strong community. Again, my thanks for this special recognition.
Thank you, Dr. Caufield, and once again, congratulations. This year, we are blessed and delighted to have 2 Lasallian Service Award recipients, both dedicated to service. Whereas Dr. Caufield has dedicated her life to serving students, Jennifer Lawrence Nelson, from the class of 2004, has dedicated her life to inspiring other volunteers. Let's hear more.
Jennifer Lawrence Nelson has had a lifelong passion for service, and after graduating from St. Mary's University, she spent 2 years in the Peace Corps in Kyrgyzstan. And upon her return, she entered the emerging field of professional volunteer engagement and has absolutely excelled. As manager of volunteer services at Maple Grove Hospital, she grew her department of volunteers from 90 to well over 500, receiving national recognition for her work. She met her husband Travis at St. Mary's, and together with their son Beckett, she remains active with her church and community. There's little doubt that St. Mary's helped develop her drive for selfless service.
I don't remember exactly when Jenny and I met. I do know that we became very close friends right out of the gate freshman year at St. Mary's. We met and became close through our involvement with Outreach, which was the campus ministry retreat team, and Habitat for Humanity. So our friendship has been growing on the foundation of service.
I've been doing volunteer coordinating for over 15 years, just in different capacities, and she definitely helps. She asks really thoughtful questions. So if I come to her with something that I'm like, what do you think about this? Have you run into this? She'll usually ask questions first to kind of lead me along to see if I'll come to that conclusion. Or she'll give anecdotal, oh, I've had that happen, here's how this worked, but keep this in mind, this in mind, this in mind. COVID as volunteer coordinators in healthcare was really challenging, and so being able to connect with someone who really understands what's happening on the ground where you are and what they're dealing with was really a lifeline during the pandemic.
Jenny is an extremely caring and selfless person. She continually puts others before herself, and there's just an energy that draws you to her as a result of that.
Jennifer has really transformed volunteer engagement at the Maple Grove Hospital. I think I've seen it transition from a good to have resource to something that is really integral to how they do business at the hospital, how they provide excellent service to their patients and guests, and that's due to Jennifer's leadership.
She understands the power of community and the power of relationships, and she's really done something up at Maple Grove Hospital. That was a newer hospital within the Twin Cities, and she was the first volunteer coordinator and has since become volunteer manager there.
What I love about Jennifer is how generous she is with everyone around her, and I've seen that at the hospital with her patients, with her peers, and the volunteers who get to work under her leadership. But as a fellow volunteer engagement professional, I've been able to benefit from that as well. Jennifer has a million things on her plate, always has a ton that she is juggling, but when you're in her presence, you feel so seen, so respected, and really so supported.
Jenny, Emily and I are extremely honored and humbled to be your friend. I cannot think of anyone who is more deserving of this award. We are continually amazed at the gift of friendship that you bring to our lives and our families' lives. and we are so thankful for you.
Jennifer, I am so proud of you, but not surprised at all. You have made such an impact on the Maple Grove Hospital, on the West Metro community, and absolutely on the field of volunteer engagement. Thank you and congratulations. Don't be too humble or modest about it. You're so great.
Congratulations to our second Lasallian Service Award recipient, Jennifer Nelson. Congratulations, Jennifer.
Thank you to St. Mary's University for honoring me with the Lasallian Service Award. I am thrilled to be recognized among the past recipients, including a future saint, Brother James Miller. I would like to acknowledge a few people who have made a life of service possible. I would not be who I am without the influence of my parents and grandparents. I thank them for modeling a life of serving others and for driving me to volunteer opportunities before I had my license. I also want to express my gratitude to Maple Grove Hospital for selecting me from the 300 candidates that applied for my job 10 years ago. The opportunity to advocate for our volunteers and represent the hospital is a joy and a privilege. I could not accept this award without acknowledging my husband Travis and our son Beckett. Travis, in you, I have a spouse who gives generously, helps selflessly, and cares openly. Beckett, I could not be prouder of your kindness, passion for justice, and servant's heart. You both are the hands and feet of Jesus and help me live the values I hold dear. In closing, as I reflect on the personal and professional choices I have made, I keep coming back to a simple but powerful phrase ingrained in me as an undergrad at St. Mary's. Let us remember we are in the holy presence of God. If you believe that you are always in God's presence and He is in everyone you meet, to serve others is simply not a choice. It is my responsibility as a follower of Christ to be His hands and feet this side of heaven in all that I do and all that I am. Thank you again for this great honor. St. John Baptist de La Salle and Blessed James Miller, pray for us.
Thank you, Jennifer. And once again, congratulations.
The final award this evening is the 2021 Distinguished Alumnus Award. This award honors men and women who have demonstrated extraordinary achievement in their chosen professions and made meaningful contributions to their communities and to society, and whose lives reflect the mission and work of St. Mary's University. Now let's learn a little more about this year's honoree, Dr. Thomas Claussen from the class of 1978.
Tom Clausen graduated from St. Mary's eager to solve some of the world's problems. Today, he is working to improve world global health as an epidemiologist and professor of environmental health at the Rollins School of Public Health at Emory University. He has led more than $50 million in research projects for environmental health interventions in low-income countries. His research includes randomized controlled field trials to assess the impact of water, sanitation, and household air pollution, and system reviews of water quality and sanitation to prevent disease and infections. Tom's journey to his current career began with studies in philosophy at St. Mary's, and then he spent 20 years practicing law before transitioning to another field altogether in global public health, no doubt inspired by his Lasallian education.
Now, this is actually really remarkable. His undergraduate degree is in classics. My undergraduate degree is in philosophy. He did this his whole life as an attorney, and not only was he a practicing attorney, but he also published a bunch of law books. So he was remarkably successful in what he did. And then he thought, oh, wait a minute, I think I'm going to do something else. And then what started as a master's degree became a PhD, and then a very highly functioning academic first in a faculty position at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, and now at Emory. And doing this coming out of a different preparation. And I think it actually reflects a very strong basic understanding in classics and how to think that allow you to move from one discipline to another. So frankly, I think it's both a credit to Tom, but I also think it's a credit to St. Mary's.
Tom and I were both started our freshman year at the same time at St. Mary's. And we were across the hall from each other on 4th Heffron, which was like sort of the floor that maybe could resemble the fall of the Roman Empire for decadence at the time. It was the 70s. And then we both fell in love with philosophy, which we hadn't really encountered before, and kind of traveled that track through together. And had lots of really fine mutual friends there.
Over the past 15 years, Tom has been one of the preeminent scholars in the field of water sanitation hygiene, and now in indoor air pollution. And so he's made really important contributions towards understanding the health impact of these environmental interventions.
Tom is amazingly collegial. He's well known to bring people outside his field together. So while he was working on safe water, for example, he began to recognize the importance of indoor air pollution, often coming from cook stoves in developing countries, and pulled together people from around the country and around the world to address this problem in a practical way.
Interesting thing about Tom is that he was very intellectually curious, and his resume reflects that once he got to know something and to understand it and master it, he very quickly went on to something else.
From the time I knew Tom, he was a man of tremendous will and drive. And I would really say his will was to save the world. Which could sound really naive, but it's probably our very best impulse.
His dedication to the scientific process and being agnostic to outcomes is really important and something that I think a lot about.
You are terrific as a scientist, as someone committed to social justice in the world, and you are just a wonderful guy as a faculty member and as a citizen.
Congratulations on this important recognition.
But just really appreciate your camaraderie in this effort to improve global public health. So congratulations.
Boy, Tom, well deserved. And you really have dedicated yourself to saving the world. You know you didn't succeed. That doesn't mean you stopped trying.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing our 2021 Distinguished Alumnus, Dr. Thomas Claussen.
As I record these remarks, I am visiting the beautiful Winona campus of St. Mary's University, the place and institution that played such a critical role in my formation. I'm taking advantage of a brief trip here to attend the memorial service of Brother Finbarr Mcmullen, who became a Lasallian institution himself over his rich and remarkable life. We will miss him dearly. Finn was extraordinary, but he was just one of many teachers and mentors to whom I owe so much from my experience here. When I went on to study law and eventually epidemiology, most of my fellow students came from better-known programs, but none were better prepared than my experience here at St. Mary's. I'm especially grateful for the relationships I developed here. St. Mary's is where I met Mary Pat and married her some 42 years ago. Together, we have raised 4 extraordinary children, including 2 from Guatemala. They, their mates, and now their 4 grandchildren have been an enormous source of pride and joy for us over these years. A lifelong teacher, Mary Pat herself has modeled the Lasallian tradition of service through education. She's a true partner, and I dedicate this award to her with all my love. The friends I made here have also been such an inspiration to me. But it wasn't the classes we shared or even the causes that we worked on together. It was in the way we genuinely challenged each other to see and work on injustice and suffering. It was this intention to address injustice that led me to law. But while lawyers and judges can do so much, as my classmate and friend Tom Kilbride has done over 2 decades on the Illinois Supreme Court, I felt fortunate in having pivoted 20 years ago into public health. I work on some of the most basic challenges: water, sanitation, and indoor air pollution. They're not new problems. Rich countries have found and implemented solutions more than a century ago. Yet the diseases they still cause, especially enteric infection and respiratory infection, are the major killers of young children in low-income countries. They have one common cause: poverty. And it's that same poverty that causes vast inequalities, whether it be in education or nutrition or health care. So for me, the research I do is not so much about preventing disease as it is trying to prevent injustice. In closing, I want to thank St. Mary's for this wonderful award, but I also want to thank my friend and colleague, Brother Bob Smith, who submitted my name for consideration.
Thank you, Mike, Susan, Jennifer, and Thomas, for all that you do. I invite all of you to view a complete list of all of our past Alumni Award recipients in your programs, a growing list of alumni of whom we are extremely proud. Before we conclude tonight, I would like to sincerely thank you all for joining us. I also wish to express my sincere thanks to the members of the Advancement Communications staff and the many other employees of the university who worked very hard to make this unique and virtual reunion special for you, our treasured alumni and guests. My personal congratulations to our 4 Alumni Award recipients. We're blessed to call you our St. Mary's family.